Hey there, guys and girls. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope everybody's having an awesome Easter weekend. Today, I picked up yesterday actually something called Sport Kings. I believe it's unlicensed memorabilia, but I am curious about it. It was last chance $15. I have no idea if that is a good deal on this particular product or if I got bamboozled, but we shall see. It says this box contains one SportKings Volume 5 base card set numbered 154 to 188. It's kind of odd, but plus one bonus pack. Bonus pack contains 5 mini base cards, 2 parallel cards, including one exclusive nickname parallel, and 1 premium card. The premium card can be one of the following: regular memorabilia card, single autograph card, autographed memorabilia card, 1 out of 1 grand patch, artist sketch, original art rendering exchange or icon exchange card. So I've never seen these before. I don't know if any of you guys have had any experience with this. SportKings has been around since 1933. And I've heard the name. I don't recall if I've ever had anything SportKings before. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this and see what this box contains, if anything. I always like opening up something new, and generally I go with the licensed stuff, but you know, I do it for fun, and if it's fun, I'm gonna do it. So let us see what we have in here. Okay, so we've got this little box here, which I'm assuming is the set. It says retail base set, volume number 5. And then this must be that bonus pack. It's thick. So I'm assuming it has, you know, multiple cards, as I believe it described. So we shall find out what is inside here. Go ahead and put that back there. All right, let's see if we can get this guy open. I might have to bust out the knife for this one. Let's waste too much time trying to get this thing open here. Maybe not. All right. No knife required. So that goes there. And let's see what we got. I'm assuming it's multi-sport. You know, I don't know if it's kind of like a generic Allen and Ginter, so to speak, where you're going to have sport and non-sport. I really don't know what to expect from this. Okie dokie. Yep, there we go. All right, so SportKings gum. SportKings gum, interesting. So what does... Okay, it is the checklist. SportKings gum. Yeah, recollection is starting to kick in now, but you know, it's ironic, SportKings gum, yet there's no gum. At least not yet. So the first card, Richard Mandela. Does it have any... It does have fun facts back there. Horse racing. Interesting. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go do a deep dive on some of these. Eric Grouch. And Eric Grouch, of course, football. Just trying to see. National champion Husker team. Okay. So we might have some interesting cards here. Yeah, okay, it's all kinds of sports. Let's see, Kaylee Humphreys on the USA team for bobsledding. Tom Glavine, look at that. Tom Glavine for the Braves. I was just looking at a card, actually, as I was going through some stuff, and it was the 90 Donruss, one of my favorite cards, whereas the error... the John Smoltz card with the Tom Glavine face. Of course, baseball. Then we've got this large fellow, Alexander Karelin. Alexander Karelin. Greco-Roman wrestling. Interesting. Very interesting. Ed Delanty. Wow, look at that. Classic. Old school baseball. Ed Delaney was considered one of the first power hitters in Major League Baseball. In a 16-year career, Big Ed recorded a slugging percentage over 413 times. During his career, mostly with the Philadelphia Quakers, Ed led the league in hits once, doubled 5 times, triples once, and home runs twice. He also was the RBI leader 3 times. In 1898, he even led the league in stolen bases, 58 stolen bases, and recorded 456 steals over the course of his career, which was cut short due to an off-the-field accident. Delahanty had a 346 career average and hit over 403 times. His career average is the 8th best of all time. Ed Delahanty was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1945. Ed Delahanty. Gosh, I haven't seen that name in forever. Like, I think I have I'm not sure what brand it is, but it's some kind of a throwbacks card to classic players. And I have all but forgotten that name. I'm glad it has come back. And then we've got the Wizard, Ozzie Smith. Interesting. I guess it's intentional because it's unlicensed, so they don't have any of the, Cardinals or St. Louis symbols on his uniform. It's pretty interesting. All right, Ozzie Smith baseball. And who we have here? Lee Kiefer. Lee Kiefer. Let's see. Lee Kiefer was a fencing athlete. Very interesting. Chris Mullin. Basketball. Golden State Warriors. 7th overall in '85 NBA draft. Chris Mullin. Yeah, I remember him. Kai Lenny. That's interesting. A surfer, I assume. Who was that movie with Brooke Shields when she was real young? Gosh, I'm trying to remember. For whatever reason, this picture, I don't know, makes me think of that. Obviously, it doesn't have her there, but yeah, gosh, something Lagoon. I don't know. I can't remember. Oh my gosh, Ricky Williams. Yeah, I remember when New Orleans first got him, and boy, oh boy, we had high hopes for Ricky Williams. And, he went to the Miami Dolphins, and he did better there than he did for New Orleans. Ricky Williams football. Yeah. I remember seeing Ricky Williams in the Superdome. I was there doing a show, not a card show. I was there actually helping promote the business that I worked for. Ricky Williams was there along with our local news station, WWL, and that's a whole story I'll get into. Bill Walton, basketball. Ronaldo Nehemiah. Or Nehemiah. I'm not sure how to pronounce that exactly. Track and field. Dominique Wilkins. Yeah, so the card, it's, primarily card artistry, it looks like, on these. And, yeah, obviously basketball. Nickname, the Human Highlight Film. Golly. I don't know if I ever knew that on Dominique Wilkins. I've got another Chris Mullin, funny enough. Oh, sorry about that, Chris. Let's see about Chris Mullin here. Just trying to see. Yeah, interesting. Looks totally different in that particular illustration. Then we have Babe Didrikson. Is that pole vaulting? Track and field. Interesting. Got a whole mix of Olympic athletes. Kirby, McIlveen, and Torch. Kirby, McIlveen, and Torch. That's a pretty cool little card. Disc Dog. Definitely some interesting cards here. I'm not going to lie. I think that's pretty cool, and that's why I like Allen and Ginter, because it's interesting. Lester Pijo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Horse racing. I've got Babe Didrikson. Golfing. Vinny Testaverde. Remember when he played for the Jets? Shout out Mr. 95 Cents. In Miami, back when he led the Hurricanes, the Miami Hurricanes back then. Teofilo Stevenson. Teofilo Stevenson, boxing. Bill Walton. This little set does have a charm to it. Basketball, of course. You know, not a high-end set, obviously, but an interesting set. David Foster. Wood chopping. I mean, that's just interesting. What does it say about that? Let's see. The sport of wood chopping has been in existence for hundreds of years around the globe. David Foster has been so dominant in the sport for over 2 decades that some would agree he should be considered one of the greatest athletes of all time in the sporting world. Foster, from the Australian island state of Tasmania, won his first championship in 1978 in the 600-millimeter double-handed sawing competition. He then defended that title for an unbelievable 21 straight years, with 168 world championships to his name. 168. David is the first athlete in any sport to have won 1,000 championships. An Axeman Hall of Famer, David Foster is indeed the king of his sport. Yeah, let me tell you, when that lactic acid builds up, and that happens quick when you're doing speed sawing like that, man, that is an endurance sport. Adam Ondra. Yeah, some creatine monohydrate would, well, any form of good creatine, magnesium chelate, or anything like that would definitely help with the lactic acid. But anyway, Adam Ondra, rock climbing. Yeah, some of these guys, some of these athletes I would have never heard of before. Oh, wow, we got a Barry Sanders. You know, and some of these cards possibly, I suppose, especially for those who have done TTMs for a long time, would be some interesting TTM fuel if you're looking for something new. We all know about Barry Sanders. Oh, look at that. Hulk Hogan. Shout out Freedom Sufferer. We got the Hulk. Wow. Man, I remember in the early 80s, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, of course, wrestling. But yeah, he was 80s and 90s, but as a little kid in the 80s, the Hulk, I remember he had his own cartoon. Gosh, there were so many cartoons of so many characters, iconic back in the day. Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, I could go on and on. But talk about an icon, an 80s icon. And then later in the late 90s, I remember he was with the, what was it, NWO, the New World Order. Kevin Nash and, oh, God bless, I'm trying to remember. Oh, the guy used to be called Razor Ramon, and I'm trying to remember, the name is just slipping at the moment. I can't believe that. But, wow, we got another Barry Sanders. This must have been when he played college. Electrifying runs in Detroit. Barry Sanders recorded perhaps the greatest season a collegiate running back has ever had. He started the year for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. That's right. That guy. Amazing. 10-year career. Alan Trammell. That's a really cool Alan Trammell card. To be quite honest with you, I think that's one of my favorite Alan Trammell cards. I don't know why. That picture is just awesome of him. And in many of the Alan Trammell cards that I remember, at least, I don't know, this action pose is, this is just a really cool Alan Trammell card. Let me know if there are any Trammell fans out there, what you guys think. I just think that's a really, really cool depiction of him. I would love to have that card autographed by Alan Trammell. Yep. Inducted in the Hall of Fame 2018. That is a really cool card. Brittany Bowe. Let's see, Brittany Bowe. Speed skate. I knew she was a skater. I couldn't remember exactly, but speed skating. Brittany Bowe. Cool card. And we've got Billy Sims. Man, look at that hair. Billy Sims. Looks really happy there, too. Big old smile. Set the Texas State High School rushing record. This is somebody I am not familiar with. Tigist Assefa. Tigist Assefa. Marathon. If it wasn't for an Achilles issue that prevented her from running in track spikes, we may never have seen the greatest woman marathoner ever. And it goes on. Tigist Assefa. EC3. I shall name my son EC3. Yeah, I don't think that was his birth name, but EC3 Wrestling, debuting in 2009 for the WWE under the name Derek Bateman. EC3 left the group and blah, 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 blah. Says a lot about wrestling stuff. I'm not terribly familiar with him, vaguely familiar, but yeah, after the late 90s, early 2000s, I kind of got away from wrestling for a while. It got really, I don't know, I just lost interest. Gertrude Ederl. Ederl? Forgive me, madam, I'm not 100%. I know that name, though. Gertrude Ederl. She's a legend, if I remember right, in her swimming. All right. Let's see, Mrs. Gertrude. Gertrude Ederl began swimming at the age of 12, and within a year she became the youngest person ever to set a swimming world record, clocking 13:19 in the 880-yard event. That record, one of the 8 she set, stood for 6 years. She won a gold medal at the 1924 Paris Olympics as part of a world record relay, while taking home 2 bronze medals in individual events. In 1925, Trudy swam from Battery Park to Sandy Hook in a record time that stood for 81 years. However, Ederl's greatest claim to fame was becoming the first woman to successfully swim the English Channel. That's where I remember her from. It was another record swim which saw her finish almost 2 minutes faster than anyone before, all men. That record stood for 24 years. I remember, gosh, I don't know, I saw something years ago, and it was either a documentary or just an overview of legendary sports players. All right, then we have Wade Boggs. Awesome, outstanding third baseman. Wade Boggs. And then we have Nastia Liukin, gymnast. Gymnastics. Born the daughter of double Olympic gold medalist Valerie Liukin. Gosh, it's amazing what they can do. All right, so that brings us to the bonus pack. Let us see what we have in this bonus pack. I can't believe it's already been 19 minutes. Goodness gracious. Thank you very much for watching this and sticking with me. If you've done so, I did not mean it to be this long of a video, but I got lost in the interest. And I'm curious to see what bonus goodness we may have in this little pack here. I would love to have something fun and go, wow, what is this? Wow, we just talked about her. Nastia Liukin. What is this? This is a piece of her gymnast's outfit, and it's numbered 50 out of 50. Is that right? 50 out of 50. Premium single memorabilia. All right, let's take a closer look at this card because that's pretty cool. I knew there was some thickness going on there, but I didn't, I've never opened one of these before. Congratulations, you have received a Sports King Volume 5 memorabilia card. The front of this card features a swatch from a leotard worn by Nastia Lukin during an official gymnastics competition. The 2005 and 2007 world champion of the balance beam, Nastia won the women's all-around gold medal at the 2008 Olympics. SportKings LLC guarantees the authenticity of the memorabilia embedded in this card. So look at that. I'm not going to complain about that. That's a beautiful, beautiful card. 50 out of 50. Looks like a little... First I thought it was 50 out of 56, but I just think that might be a blemish. Anyhow, we're going to set you right there, Nastia. That's a beautiful card. All right, and then we've got a Ozzie Smith parallel, it looks like. Yeah. Okay, we got some minis here. Grateful Red. That must be his nickname. That's a pretty awesome nickname. Grateful Red. Does it say anything about that? No, it doesn't. It should, though. Grateful Red. Because we pulled him earlier, and I believe it has his real name. So that's some kind of a, parallel. Kai Lenny on the mini. Minis look like that on the back. Tom Glavine, awesome. Mini. Chris Mullin on the mini. Alexander Karelin on the mini. Barry Sanders on the mini. Outstanding. And I believe that does it. No gum, but you know what? We got a Nastia Lukin Relic Memorabilia card, 50 out of 50. I'm happy. So for $15, I'm not going to lie, for the interest level and everything else, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. I don't know what the regular price is on this stuff, but I am happy to have it. And let me know what you guys think down below. Have you gotten any of these before? Do you know anything about them? Was it a decent buy at $15, if nothing else, just for the fun? And yeah, so with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful Easter weekend. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate all of your support. And until next time, have a good one.